Okay, hello everybody. This is Simply Me here. I wanted to show how to do the back of the Graphgan when you're crocheting. I had a question about, is the back crochet the same as the front? So I just wanted to just come on and show how the back is. I mean, it's the same as the front, but I just want to show the back so that way everybody can see the back of crocheting a Graphgan. Okay, so I've done my 54 stitches here, 59. I had 59 stitches to do before I got to the graph. So I've done my 59 stitches, and now it is time for me to add the gray. And the pattern calls for 5 gray single crochets. Now I normally do half double crochets, but this is a gift for my nephew, and I decided to do it in single crochet because I don't want it too big, and he didn't want it too big. So I'm doing it in single crochet, and I'm using a 4.0 millimeter crochet hook. So I normally use a 5.0. So, but for this one, I'm using the 4.0. Okay, so I pulled my loop up, and you don't have to do yours this way, but I pull my loop up and I go through these 2 stitches here. You pull your yarn behind your hook, and you grab your next color that you're going to be working with. Whatever color that pattern called for, that's the color you're going to hook on your hook next. So you see the gray is here. So the pattern was 54 green, and now it is 5 gray. So I put my hook in already. I'm going to wrap my hook around, and I'm going to pull it through these 2 loops. Okay, I pulled it through the 2 loops, and you see this where we have the string that's crossing. So what we're going to do is make sure you're looking for your stitches so you don't accidentally put it in there, because that stitch already have a single crochet in it. So it's going to go in this stitch here right next to it, and I'm going over that line right there. So that's 1. Right now you put your hook to go underneath to go to your next stitch, because you want to just include it in behind. Okay, I hope I'm making sense. So I got my 2 now I need 3 more gray. So we got 2, now 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have our 5 gray, and I'm going to mark that off because I have my 5. Now I need 3 green again, so I'm going to pull a loop, and I'm going to put my hook through the 2 loops there, pull the gray behind my hook, and I'm going to pick up my green. So this is the stitch that I'm going to be going in. Okay, so I'm going to wrap my hook, and I'm going to pull it through the 2 loops. Okay, now I'm going to go through my stitch, leaving that there so I can work over it. So that's 1. Now the next stitch, and that's 2, and 1 more, and 3. Okay, so we have our 3, and we mark that off. Now black, we need 17, so I'm going to put my hook back through the loops, make sure that goes behind my hook, pick up my black yarn, pull it through. So we're going to be working through this stitch here. Okay, That stitch already have a single crochet in it. We're going to this stitch here, okay? And we need 17 black. So put your hook in that stitch. That's 1. And make sure you're going underneath for that, where that black is at, so you can include that in your stitch, okay, to hide it. So that's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so we got our 17. And let me know when y'all view this, let me know if I'm too close, if my camera is too close down to the pattern or the project, so that way I can redo it and make it a little bit the camera further up so it's not so close down. Okay, now I'm going to mark my 17 black off. Now we have 18 gray. So here's our gray right here. It's our gray. So I'm going to put my hook back through the 2 loops. Okay. Pull the black behind my hook. Pick up my gray. And I'm going to pull my gray through the 2 loops. Okay. Now, you see how that is right there where we left that, I don't even know what to call it, the yarn. We're going to go behind that yarn, and then we're going to go through the stitch, okay? And that's just to make it clean, right? So we don't have no loose stitches right there. Now you see, you don't even see that that string that was just pulled from where we was going to, from where we started, okay? Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, okay? 18, one more. So we have our 18 single crochets. Right, okay, now I'm gonna mark that 18 off. Now we need 8 black. So I'm gonna put my hook back through those 2 loops back there, okay? Pull my yarn back, and here's my black yarn. Let me just pull some more black up, because we need 8 single crochets, okay? I pulled my black up, so I'm going to wrap that around my hook, and I'm going to pull it through those 2 loops, okay? Now there's our black string again right there, and we're going to take our hook, we're going to go through that black stitch right there, and we're going to put it through our next stitch, okay? Pull through, right? And then we do our single crochet, okay? So you don't see that piece of string hanging no more, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, 8. Okay, we have our 8 black. Pull a loop. Let me mark that off. Now we need 4 gray, so we put our hook back through those 2 loops. Okay, pull the yarn behind, and let's pull up our gray yarn. Wrap it around our hook and pull through the 2 loops. Okay, so here's the gray piece right there. We're going to take our hook, we're going to go through that, and we're going to take it through our stitch. We're going to wrap our hook, pull through the stitch, and pull through that piece of yarn that was pulled over. Okay, wrap our hook and do our single crochet. So we have our 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's our 4th single crochet. Now I'm going to mark that off. Now we need 4 black, so I'm going to put my hook back through those 2 loops right there. Pull my hook behind, pull my yarn behind the hook, and then I'm going to pull my black up and wrap it around my hook, and I'm going to pull it through those 2 loops, right? And here we have that string right there again. So we're going to take our hook, we're going to go behind that or through it, and we're going to go through our stitch. We're going to wrap our hook, we're going to pull through our stitch and pull through that string, right? Wrap our hook and do our single crochet. Okay, so that's our first single crochet. We need 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to pull my loop again, and I'm going to mark 4 off. Now we need 4 green, so we're going to take our hook and we're going to go through them 2 loops right there. Pull the yarn behind the hook. Pick up our green yarn. Let me make sure I pull up enough of yarn. Okay. Take our green, wrap it around our hook. Pull through the 2 loops right here. Okay. Now here's our green piece of yarn right there. We're going to take our hook and go underneath of that. And we're going to go through this stitch. We're going to wrap our hook, pull through the stitch, and pull through that yarn right there. Wrap our hook and do our single crochet, okay? And then just pull your loop down. And that needs 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So we did our 4. We'll pull up a loop. Now we need gray. See, our gray is right here because our green went over, you know, past our gray. So we need 4. I didn't even mark the gray off. Let me mark the gray. I meant the green off. Mark that off. We need 5 gray. So you can either, okay, put our hook through them loops right there. Pull the yarn back. You can pull the yarn from here, wrap your hook, pull through your 2 stitches, your 2 loops there. Okay, and here's this string right here. You can take your hook, go through or underneath of it, go to your stitch, wrap your hook, pull through your stitch, and pull through that string right there. Wrap your hook and do your single crochet. Or you can cut your yarn, but leave a tail long enough to weave it in, and keep on going. So if you cut it, I'm gonna show you that. If you cut it, let me do my fourth one again. Okay. So you can cut that. If you don't want to do it like that, you can just cut it. See, I'm leaving a long enough tail to weave my tail in to make sure my work stays secure. I'm just pulling up some more yarn. Okay. So, and to connect that, if you cut it, it's the same. You just put your your hook through them 2 loops. Pull that yarn behind there. Wrap the gray and leave a tail long enough to weave in. Wrap your hook around, gray around your hook. Pull through those 2 loops. Now you're going into this stitch here. Just make sure you go out over the tail. That's 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to leave that there to weave in. 4, 5. Okay, we got our 5. Let's go back and take my green and just pull that loop down. Okay. Let me mark that off. Now we need 3 green. So I'm going to put my hook back through there, them 2 loops, pull the gray behind my hook, pick up my green yarn, wrap it around my hook, pull through the 2 loops, okay? Now I'm going to do it again. This yarn right there, I'm going to take my hook and go behind that yarn, go into the next stitch, wrap my hook, pull through both of those, and do my single crochet, okay? That's my first single crochet. And I need 3 of those. This is 2. And this is 3. Okay, that's 3. Okay. Let me mark my 3. Now I need 3 black. So I'm going to put my hook back through my 2 loops. Pull my yarn behind my hook. Pick up my black yarn. I'm going to pull up enough. Wrap my yarn around my hook. Pull through those 2 loops. Oh, wait a minute, let me do that over. Okay. See the piece right here, the yarn right here that we just pulled up to for the black. So now we're going to go beneath the black, underneath of it, go to our next stitch right there, wrap our hook, pull through both of those, wrap our hook, and do our single crochet. Okay. And we need 3 black. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Got my 3. Let me mark that off. Now I need 3 gray. So I'm going to put my hook through them 2 loops, pull my black behind my hook, pull my gray yarn up, wrap my hook, pull through those 2 loops. Now our string is right here, and we're going to go through our, we're going to go through that stitch. And because the yarn, the leftover yarn is right there, it makes it easy. So pull through both of those, wrap your hook and do your single crochet, pull your yarn. Okay, so we need 3 of these gray, 2, 3. And let's see, I'll show you a different way. I'm sure y'all familiar with this way. So we have 2, we do our last one and just half do it. If you want to switch colors like that, half do your single crochet, pull your yarn behind, pick up your next color, which is ours is black. And we need 6 of those. So now I'm going to wrap my hook. And I'm just going to pull through those 2 loops right there because we half did them, right? Now we're going to take our hook and go underneath for that black yarn and go to our stitch. Wrap our hook, pull through. We have that single crochet right there, okay? So that's our first single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So we have our 6. Let me mark that off. Now we have to do 2 of the grays. Put my hook through my 2 loops there. Pull my yarn behind my hook. Pull up my gray yarn. Wrap it around my hook. And there's our first stitch right there that we're going to go through. Pull through those 2 loops. Now take your hook and go to that next stitch. Wrap your hook. Pull through both of those. Wrap your hook and do your single crochet. Pull your loop pull your stitch to pull that loop up. Okay, so we're going to take our hook. We're going to go back underneath that yarn and go to the next stitch. Do our single crochet. That's 2. And that's all we need is 2. Let me mark my 2 off. Now we need 1 black, so I'm going to take my hook and go back through these 2 loops. Pull my yarn behind my hook. Pick up my black yarn. Wrap it around my hook. Pull through both of those loops. And we only need 1 black. We're going to take our hook and go behind that yarn and go to the stitch, right? Wrap our hook. Pull through both of those pieces, wrap our hook, and do our single crochet. Okay, and don't forget to pull your loop down, okay? And let me mark that off. Now pull that back up. I'm going to go through these 2 loops here, pull my yarn behind my hook, and I'm going to pick up my green color. And that's right here. And we only need 2 green. Wrap my hook. Pull them through these 2 loops. Now we're going to take our hook. We're going underneath of that and to our stitch. Okay, wrap our hook. Pull through those stitches and that yarn piece right there. Wrap our hook and pull through to our single crochet. Pull the yarn down, okay? And our next stitch is here, okay? Let me mark that off. Now we need 14 gray. So I'm going to put my hook and I'm going to go through these 2 loops here. Pull my green behind my hook, pick up my gray, make sure I got enough of yarn pulled up. Wrap my hook, go through those 2 loops there. And our first stitch is right there, that green stitch. Take our hook, go under the gray yarn into the stitch. Wrap, single crochet, okay? Pull your string to close that loop, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so that's our 14 gray. And my green is right here. I can either pull it here or I can cut it off, which I am going to cut it and leave a tail long enough to weave in. Okay, let me. Okay, just had to pull up enough yarn, so. Okay, now I'm going to take my hook and go through these 2 loops here. Pull my yarn behind so I can attach my green yarn, wrap it around my hook, pull through those 2 loops, and I'm going to this stitch here, and I'm going to wrap around a few times with this string here so that it's connected, and then I can weave the rest of that in. Okay, so that's it. That is how you work the back of your Graphgan, and I hope it's explained good enough for you to understand. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment, and if it's too close, please feel free to leave that in the comment also, and I can re-show again with the screen a little bit higher. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Y'all have an amazing day, and God bless y'all. Peace.